people are investing in you, and you are whittling yourself away, injecting.
Another one got caught today. It's all over the papers. Teenager arrested in computer crime scandal. Hacker arrested after bank tampering. Damn kids. They're all alive. But the deal with your three-piece psychology in 1950s techno game haven't take a look behind the eyes of the hacker. Did you ever wonder what made him tick? What forces shaped him? What may have molded him? I am a hacker. Enter my world. Mine is a world that begins with school. I'm smarter than most of the other kids. This crap they teach us bores me. Damn them Achiever. They're all alike. I'm in junior high or high school. I've listened to teachers explain for the 15th time how to reduce a fraction. I understand it. No, Miss Smith, I didn't show my work. I did it in my head. Damn kid. Probably copied it. They're all alike. I made a discovery today. I found a computer. Wait a second. This is cool. It does what I want it to. If it makes a mistake, it's because I screwed it up. Not because it doesn't like me, or feels threatened by me, or thinks I'm a smartass, or doesn't like teaching and shouldn't be here. Damn kid. All we did is play games. They're all alike. And then it happened. Door opened to a world, rushing through the phone line like a heroine, through an addict's veins. An electronic pulse is sent out, a refuge from the day-to-day incompetences is sought. Where to stop? This is it. This is where I belong. I know everyone here, even if I've never met them, never talked to them, and never hear from them again. I know you all. Kid. Time at the phone again. They're all alike. You bet your ass are all alike. We've been spoon-fed baby-foot at school when we hunted for steak. The beats of meat that you did let slip through were pre-chewed teasings. We've been dominated by sadists, ignored by the apathetic. The few that had something to teach us found us willing pupils, but those few are like drops of water in the desert. This is our world now. The world of the electron and the switch. The beauty of the broad. We make use of a service already existing without paying for what could be dirt cheap if it wasn't run by profiteering gluttons, and you call us criminals. We explore and you call us criminals. We seek after knowledge and you call us criminals. We exist without skin and color, without nationality, without religious bias, and still you call us criminals? You build atomic bombs, you wage wars, you murder, you cheat and lie to us and try to make us believe it's for our own good. Yet, we're the criminals? Yes, I am a criminal. My crime is that of curiosity. My crime is that of judging people by what they say and think, not what they look like. My crime is that of outsmarting you, something that you will never forgive me for. I am a hacker, and this is my manifesto. You may stop this individual, but you cannot stop us all. After all, we're all alike.
Alright, I guess it's time to begin, huh? Alright, so, the presentation, the board villain. Let's see here. To begin with, I'm sorry, it took a little long time for this. Let's take a long extended break, that whole freaking last season, whole Marty and WRnet, the whole thing that I had to deal with for so long. Took a lot out of me. So this is, I'm gonna start this off. We're gonna try to bring this more often. Season 2, episode 1, the Lord Villain. Part one. Alright, so the whole point of what I being a villain kind of thing, how it's like portrayed in a way of how I'm portrayed. And it's like an example. I know there's like more like me, but technically, my life is technically supposed to be like an NPC. I'm supposed to just get up, go to work, come home, and rinse and repeat. That's how everything and everyone has been forced upon. Like, if it makes any sense, that it's like everyone forced this kind of mentality on to people like me, you know. And but the thing is, it's like I don't like being like anything like that. So I would like to see myself like I'd like to be that free guy, kind of, you know, that movie Free Guy. How the NPC actually woke up and knew that he's in a different place and knew he was different. He was like self-learning, and that's basically pretty much my life in a nutshell. I'm pretty sure there's others like that too. Let's see. I was born in poverty, of course. Many of my old stories, you know, even my book, I've written down in lots of places. You know, I lived in Las Vegas all my life, so let's go with like if I like one of the locations like what 3 years old. I was on Bonanza in Maryland Parkway. There's like a 7-Eleven. I think it's still there. Let me see if I can pull it up on the maps. Let's go. Open 7-Eleven. And let's say and I'll bring this over in a second. This should be correct in here. Let's no, that's not right. That's important. It's a little too much work. It's Eastern. Where's Maryland Park? Okay. This over. Alright, so there's that 7-Eleven right there. When I was like 3 years old, I lived like right here. I can drop a little guy down. Take a look at it. Yeah, I was in this right over here, this little apartment. A little there. And technically it's like I never left. This has all been the same. Just it wasn't boarded up back then, but it's a 3-year-old. My mom was sleeping during the day because she worked graveyards at the Riviera. So was it the Western? I don't remember. I know she started at the Western, and then ended up being at the Riviera. Yeah, I came out here, unlocked the lock because we have the bottom floor. And during this time, I just walked all the way over. Past all this, I was a 3-year-old. I walked all the way over, following this through 7-Eleven. This is, you know, it's not like one of the many apartments. Ghetto 7-Eleven. We call this Georgia 7-Eleven because back in those days we were able to open up like tabs with the owner, and they would ended up paying for stuff. A couple years later, we end up moving down here. I don't quite remember which apartment. And there were different colors at that time. These used to be called the Hilltop Apartments. I think it's like this one here. We had the bottom floor right here. No, still. Or it could have been like something like this. I think we're like more like orange and brown back then, but yeah, actually, it probably was this because I remember this being here. I used to fit my head through those gates just because how tiny it was. I did the same thing here. No, yeah, it's about the same. Some of these were actually wire at the time. But yeah, that was the apartment. I used to know, had friends here, friends here, friends here, friends here. And that's me right there. It was in like 87. Oh, now they're called Hilltop Villas. Used to be Hilltop Apartments. No, you can't really tell, but this is like a huge hill right here. Easily get like 30 miles per hour on a bicycle going down the hill. But, let's see. Yeah, it's like New York. Pretty much poverty areas. Apartments, low budget apartments back then. So, yeah, born into poverty. Well, basically moving from apartment to apartment. From there, we moved from 88. We moved from there to a house that no longer exists. We were renting. Mm. And from there, east, west side, then back east side, and here, okay. So now we know the shitty parts of Vegas. I was actually born and raised around. I grew up around schools I went to. I went to 5 different elementary schools, 2 different middle school, one high school though. But I'll probably get to that momentarily. Forced isolation because I went to 5 different high schools. I ended up not meeting friends. I ended up being bullied and basically isolated from playing with anybody, making friends. Nobody wanted to be my friend because I was always moving in mid-year of my classes. So pretty sad. Yawning a lot tonight. Long, long. Yeah, alright. I witnessed trauma when I was young. Um, Before my mom met my dad, my stepdad, she was going through a lot of different relationships. She had some relationships that ended up doing some essays or um, things that you shouldn't do that, that ended with sort of with physical violence. And, if it wasn't for the abortions that she's had at those times, I would have had brothers or sisters at the time forced, mainly because, she's been, you know, like I don't want to say the word because it's kind of like a trigger warning kind of thing, and I don't want to say it like that. You shouldn't say like grapes, maybe like that. Yeah, let's just call it grapes. Yeah, well, I guess it's like the curse of being like a kino runner working at nights or graveyards, wasn't really had a lot of security. But even before that, she's went to bad schools. this one school called Woodbury, of course, and it was pretty bad. From all the stories that she told me, anyways, and what I witnessed when I was like 6, 7 years old, I witnessed my mom being beaten a lot up and down the hallway. Another guy got arrested, and he got arrested for doing for being a pedo, a BDF, and he was picking up a 14-year-old kid, and that's how he got arrested. So my mom got extremely lucky when that happened because she knows I don't know, she couldn't. I don't really know. I know it really affected her, and she never really wanted to talk about it. Um, Breaking these NPC boundaries, that's like, going back to that free guy kind of mentality here. My mom used to call this the curse, the family curse. Mainly because we're forced to stay in this area. We're forced to always stay in poverty. We're forced to not break free and move forward unless we adhere to what we are supposed to do. And I hope that makes sense. And a lot of that is a really tough life, I'm 45 now. Back then, it's just a lot of different things. I'm white, I know, but it's like I don't see color like that though. I know there's history, I know there's problems, I know there's stuff like that, but we're all human. We all should love each other no matter what. And we should always help each other out no matter what, help, unite as a human beings, unite as one, so we can step up and we can step up and start breaking these boundaries that we can finally hold legal when nobody has gone before. Because I love space and science and like that, so I would love to see it in my lifetime. Or if you ever, I'd love to become a cyborg and travel space like that. That'd be awesome. Well, yeah, mainly because I had cancer and I've been through a lot of freaking crap like that. Anyways, I would say at this point, through middle school, the lone warrior. I would call myself the lone warrior at this point. And when I hit middle school, this is where things get crazy because we I was at the first middle school I went to was Ashman Junior High or middle school, and it was all right. Yeah, I thought I was starting to fit in. I thought I was fitting in. I was trying to meet friends, but I was more of a nerd at the time. I did meet a friend or a couple of friends at the time. Ooh. But once we moved from there to North Las Vegas, that's where everything went downhill because I'm the only white kid at that school at the time. And back in the early '90s, my mom used to take me down to had me take notes down to 7-Eleven to pick her up some cigarettes and crap like that. And would always get me a Slurpee or something along the way back. But one time of doing it, I actually got robbed coming back. And once I got robbed, I ended up taking karate and stuff like that. The rec center right next door to the high school, and the junior high school. And once kids started taking notice, I ended up being in that middle school from starting to be picked on to a point of every time we left beat me, they would form a circle around me and the protagonist that one would fight me. And once they seen that I can actually kick somebody's ass and kept on doing it, they didn't. It never stopped. It never stopped until I left the rancho. So it's like almost every day fighting with no supervision, no cameras at the time. I tried reporting it so many times to uh, to the staff, but every now and then they would try to get somebody back there, but nobody ever really stays back there. Nobody, not even security, would do anything about it, and that's pretty sad. So there's a lot of, at first it would be kind of afraid, kind of like backed into the corner, kind of fighting, and of course I would be more learning while I'm learning karate, kung fu, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, and stuff like that. That stuff really didn't translate to street fight. But street fighting, I also learned, also thanks to video games like that, I was able to learn how to be, I wanted to get out of fights quickly. But I also didn't want to have too much blood everywhere. I got tired of, after the fight is done, I ended up going to the bathroom to wash my hands really quick or stuff like that. It would end up being like I would try to see if I could finish the fight early, like either I would. It was like getting to the point, maybe about 6 months into the school year, would end up start like trying to end the fight quick, make them drop to their knees really fast, kind of thing. Even if I had to fight dirty, I would do it, and I did whatever I could. And that was basically my middle school life, other than me being the nerd of the class and try to stay afloat. It was horrible times. That middle school was horrible. It was really traumatic. It was a very traumatic experience for me. And Rancho High School is no different. But with that, I actually stayed away from the fighting because there was actually school police everywhere. So because that school was known for fights almost every day, not just fights, but gang-related fights and stuff like that. Because the area, I can still show you the area. At least they rebuilt the high school because they turned it into a magnet school. I mean, let's see. Bruce and Owens. There's the graveyard I used to live across. For at least about 10 years, I used to live right on this house. They rebuilt it though. They had to because there's rotting trees back here. There was this whole roof was falling in. Mold was building, black mold. This was more of a big yard. Looks like there's some of that weird yard on the top right there. But I'm gonna drop this down. I mean, it didn't really look like that at the time. That's actually been rebuilt. The house was falling apart when we left. That used to have been an actual garage here. Falling apart fence. I thought it was really shitty. Graveyard street. Essentially, that could have been what really gave me the cancer. Yeah, this is Rancho High School. Basically, the front of the school used to be right here. They moved it on the other side. I used to go up and down here to 7-Eleven all the way down. And they had a lot of safety nowadays, but back then there wasn't. I mean, this is something that was still there. They just barely built that when I first started. Is that still a church? I think it is. I got kicked out of this church once. Mom was trying to get me, to do the church thing, and I got kicked out for asking too many questions. Way too many questions. I mean, you got crappy ass apartments over here. They're extremely highly gang related. Some stuff over here. This is where I got robbed the first time when I was like 12. Coming up this way. These are like little duplexes. Yeah, they're like duplexes. And there's somebody that used to live in one of them. They had trash everywhere. You had to make that thing. There's a 7-Eleven. It's always been there. That used to be like a really good New York pizza place right there. Planet Fitness behind. Used to been at Albertsons. But yeah, yeah, 7-Eleven. Yeah, rooters. They've been there for a long ass time. That's funny. So they blurred out that freaking apartment complex. That's hilarious. Not a house, it's not like an apartment complex. Pretty much the same thing. I think they rebuilt Rancho, so I don't, not Rancho, but J.D. Smith Middle School. Oh, they blocked it off at one street. It's funny. It's just been all gridlocked. Welcome to North Las Vegas. The sign was definitely different here. They didn't have this. It was just part of the law. It would always get tagged. Go down this way. That rec center's still there. That's where I would learn karate. And then we had the swimming pool right here that shared between this rec center and the and J. Smith. Wow, they mowed it down. Look at that. It's been like a wide open, really old school, and now it's a prison back there. That's hilarious. I mean, this is where all the fights happen. There used to be like a PE area right here next to the pool. That's so cool. Oh no, they covered the pool. Wow. There used to have been a pool there. And J.D. Smith had like a PE right here, right next to it. And because it shared the pool between the school and the rec center, all the fights happened like right here as you were coming out. So, because it was like a weird ass bottleneck. It was pretty horrible. Mm-hmm. About as much as I want to continue on that. Alright. Yeah, that was it's the school with the highest dropout rate. Mm. I should have been a little more prepared for this, but okay. Mm-hmm. Just thinking about it instead. Because Rancho High School was one of them on that list. But no, it was like one of the highest ones. That I'm trying to see if I can find. What's this? What's that? AI. Maybe AI might know. Mm, 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 mm. It's asking AI. So it's like Mojave, Kaya. Well, it's gonna be hard to say now because all these schools been turned into freaking magnet schools. Hmm. Let's see, what is Rancho High School rated? Rancho High School is the Las Vegas is ranked on the bottom 50% of public schools in Nevada. Has a graduation rate of 94%. Wow, that's new now. I remember when I was in the in my graduating class, and there was only 30 people graduating, and there was like a lot more now. There was like 1,000 students. Only 30 of them actually graduated. Hmm. That's so weird. Okay. So it actually have changed a lot since it became a magnet school. So, but back then, it was like between the 90s, 94, 95, 96 to 98. Well, 94 to 98, that's when I was there. So, when I was there, here's another thing that puts me into the area now. How I'm more of an isolated, pushed away. Because, when I was in high school, you're supposed to be preparing for the future. How can I prepare for the future when people are like telling me the only way I'm going to be able to make it is either I go to McDonald's, make a career out of that, or join the military. The military is my only option. Some were saying because it's the color of my skin, because I'm white and I have no money, the only place I should be going is the military. That's all I should think about. There is no hope for me anywhere. Even if because I was still holding like a 3.8, 4.0 GPA throughout the whole school year. I was succeeding pretty good. I wanted to become more with computers, even though that was a hard thing at the time. I was also jumping into how to be an architect and whatnot, on top of doing ROTC, which was Air Force Base. Because I actually liked always wanted to fly an airplane, the Blackbird, the I always wanted to fly the Blackbird. I always wanted to fly the Thunderbolt or the Warthog. I always had this big thing for the stealth fighter too, the Lockheed one, the ugly looking thing that now looks like a freaking Cybertruck. The hell. But anyways, yeah, that was it. There was no hope for me. It's either McDonald's or the military, and that's technically because I was in ROTC. I would have a little small head start. Did had a qualification to go to Air Force Academy, but I didn't want to go that route because I wanted to I wanted to make my own video game. I wanted to learn how to do that. I wanted to see if there's a way around this. I wanted to find options, but I was trying to learn. I ended up, but in many ways, I didn't take the certain path that I'd taken. I was pretty much destined to die from high school. Because according to the cancer diagnosis, 5 years later, graduating, I technically was in the hospital because, 98, 2003. And since I was fighting, and according to them, I was fighting a cancer since 1995 ish. Technically, it might have been that whole, because I used to play in that graveyard across the street, gothic kind of industrial music stuff, grunge metal, whatever. Those were the 90s. I ended up hanging out a lot in that graveyard, but they might there might be that might be a relation. But in many cases, like, I don't know, in many ways I just felt like I was pretty much destined to just be, I didn't go the route that I did, like take over LVNet, learn how to hack, learn how to take over networks, started freaking my own little botnet, denial, DDoS, a lot of things, everything, and then I've gotten into fights with people online, became a network admin, server admin, the whole thing going on, and becoming like a hot shot online. And I took over the yellow. Then I took over LBNet, the ISP. It's just that if I didn't do that, then I'm pretty sure because nobody really understood that I was turning green at one point. I was basically dying in my own house and nobody knew. But yeah, it only took somebody at work saying, "Hey, you do not look," I'm pretty sure. And everybody's seen me at home and nobody said anything about it until I ended up in the ER. Um, just that's the way it was. Like nobody was really paying attention to me. Nobody was actually knowing that something's wrong with me. Something it was growing inside, eating me alive. I got this huge scar on my stomach that I'll never forget. I mean, I still have scars from the port that I had for the chemotherapy and all that. I don't know, it's just in many ways, I was just in the die. It's just, that's how it seemed to be. It's like I wasn't meant to be here, but yet I'm here. So we're here. Now, part three. What classified me as a villain at this point? What I put down is what I found. Born in poverty with no money, no major friends or anything like that. Basically, a loner. And family always on drugs when I was growing up. That's when I like go seeing everybody how fucked up they are on drugs. Excuse my French, but you know, drugs. Drugs are bad in the game, and I came a really strong of I'll never do that. I never have, and I never will. It's including alcohol. I've never done alcohol. I never have and never will. Um, when I was in high school and junior high or middle school, I was basically smarter than a lot of people there. Especially when I ended up really starting to know how they were fighting, And all those fights, they were basically gang initiations for like various Mexican gangs like San Chicos and stuff like that. That actually was plaguing that whole area. Um, they just had to beat me in a fight, and nobody did. So I don't think they ever got in that way or not. But, yeah. And let's see here. Rejected by all fashionist social norms back then. Same thing. I mean, the only way of anything I got to fit in is a just industrial or gothic light because technically I have that whole the crow mentality kind of thing. Just go in, get my school done, get high grade, walk away, earn something, be something, but pretty much because I didn't fit in with being a gangster, being solo, or being something like that, or being a jock, or I don't know, or maybe like an alpha beta from the nerds movies or something like that. I don't know how I really put it. And even now, it's like still, even to this day, I'm like rejected by pretty much all these fashions of social norms. No matter what kind of group I want to associate myself with, I still feel like I'm the outcast of that group, no matter what. Um, it's kind of weird because when I was in Oregon, it wasn't like that at all. It was the complete opposite. And that's why I really want to go back up there. And let's see. Rejected old fashioned, being rejected, and always been isolated. Like, I don't know, just in some ways. Like, some people, like, I would join, would become a part of a group. I would just be that awkward, socially awkward. I mean, I'll just be standing around while everybody else is talking and blah, blah, blah. And when they finally, somebody will actually try to talk to me, they would talk to me, but walk away. So it's like I exist in a way that I just basically am like existing like a ghost. That's pretty much it. So not that I'm introverted or extroverted or anything. I'm like in between. I mean, just get me talking and I won't shut up. So. But that's how it's always been. Um, Being labeled things that just isn't right. Let's see if I can put out a good example. Actually, I can't think of an example at the moment. This being, I'm not like an assumption of certain labels. The recent one I had was I did a whole make myself a huge change in life and be targeted and fired from my last job. Just because they assume because let's see, because people assume things and they don't understand things and don't ask questions. And because now I'm going back to not just being labeled, and also been rejected and pushed aside and isolated anyways. So now I just add on something else that isn't right. We should be humans. I should not be treated as a non-human or an NPC to where I should be just casted out. And yeah, it's like, I guess this is where I put down examples like my school trauma. I'm gonna go backwards here. So, like my school trauma, basically, I should have been going to school, meeting friends. You know, kind of like I'm in the wrong time because I wanted to be more nerdy, playing video games, doing more D&D, playing chess, checkers and stuff like that. And because of that, I've been cast aside, and because they see karate and stuff like that as a big thing in the 90s, they figured that, I don't know, I'm the target. I'm the isolated one that they should have practice on or something, and I don't know. And then the casino thing, I may get a change in my own life to make myself happier, and doing so because even though I'm isolated and rejected from their own crowds and inner crowds and little cliques and everything else, um, and the lack of communication I got from everyone around me, I got targeted and just instantly, they didn't just fire me, they tried to ruin my career and fire me. That's pretty heinous. I'm not gonna lie on that one. Then you have WRnet, where they exploited my kindness. They exploited me in learning and wanting to grasp things and actually do something with my life that isn't trying to jump into the military and take it off that way. Wanted to prove the people of high school, they're wrong. I actually found a way to gunshot myself higher up and technically pay for more schooling and pay for more certifications, to work and come back like a 10-year reunion or something and say, hey, this is what I've done with myself. But none of that happened. That was all used against me. And basically, that was like a carrot hanging in front of me. And I guess I hate to say it this way, but DC 702, another one of those things. I started that group in 2014 with a friend. Friend moved, so I ended up taking it over slowly on my own, trying to step out of boundaries again, to become more social again, try to build up a group, try to make something. Because I want to say, hey, maybe Vegas isn't that bad after all, and maybe we can all come together. And I was trying to advocate that every year. 2019, I started to get more traction, and I guess in 2022, a second one was formed in some weird way. It's so awkwardly weird and social weird on the forums that you can really tell that they're really a group. And yet here I am advertising myself on other social medias. But hey, I am another group. I've been around. I've been here. And then they finally got acknowledged on forums to be an actual group. And when they said they were looking around to look out for people, they started infiltrating my social circle area. And when they came in, they said a couple things, and I had one of the guys say, "Fuck you, I'm out." And yeah, that was kind of that was really awkward. And then I find out later that they actually really fully shotgunned themselves ever since that time as a full group. And they knew since 2020. They really have known since 2020. I've been around, and they could have easily found me, and we could have collabed and became one big group instead of being two. At this point, there's two. I'm still the OG one. I don't give a fuck what they say or what anybody else says. I'm still promoting this app. And, but yeah, that is, that's how it is. I try to do something nice. I try to give back to communities. I get rejected. I get rejected here. I get rejected there. I'm technically like, forgot what his name. What that guy is named in Minions, you know, how he's rejected everywhere. But I'm pretty much rejected no matter where I go. Here, so all I do is exists. Minions. Alright, so let's go. Part 4, the anti-hero. This is where I understand that I'm a villain, but regardless of that, I'm still trying to make friendships, to build families. Even though I've been rejected, I'm still trying to be there. I'm trying to give back. I'm still trying to donate my time, donate what I can, donate everything I can. You know, it doesn't really matter at this point. But there's not so much I can go anymore. So, let's see here. I've been putting up like strong rule right where it says I turn my back after being verbally and mentally abused by people in the past. But I do have ethics, I do care. But that also means that I built a wall, a mental wall to understand and know when people are going to start verbally abusing me or mentally abusing me, knowing how to turn my back and walk away from that. Just walk away. I have morals, and I won't adhere beyond my pacifist atheist. In other words, I really don't like religious people who like to push their religious ways on other people. Something like that was when I was living in Oregon. Mike McGee, who held me against my will, was pushing his Jehovah's Witness on me. He was trying to convert me so hard, and it was getting to the point where it was getting sickening and trying to brainwash me kind of way. And that's really hard. I'm not one. And just I can't stand it when people do stuff like that. You should just leave people the way they want to be. You know, I believe in science, so let me believe in science. If you believe in Jehovah's, being a Jehovah Witness, then be one. If you think you're following with that Mormon stuff, go be Mormon. I don't care. Religious is anybody can have their own religion. I don't care. You know, just don't push it upon other people. And that's pretty much where I keep my ways there. That's where I keep my smoking, where I keep my wall right there. When people start doing religious stuff and has to push it on me, I go, hey, that's not going to work on me. Good, nice try. Not going to happen. Because of that, I have pride for myself. And I refuse for anything else due to rejection of communities, you know. I do have pride for myself, and no matter what, no matter how much of a letdown or self-confidence drain that is, I'm not going to let anything ruin me from keeping my dreams alive. I think that's how it should be. Let's go. So in the end, a lot of people, I'm just an NPC. Because I don't have money, I don't have these cars that people think I should have. I'm not this religion that people think I should be a part of. There's people that actually thought that I was actually some type of weird kind of Christianity or something stupid. I don't know. I even had one trying to convert me to Mormonism. It was really weird. Thinking that that will be the only way I'm going to be able to get a girl. Oh, really? Companionships, not like that. I don't like forcing things upon people. Oh, hell no. So, I know a lot of people I just really simply just don't exist. I'm like a ghost. I'm just like a random person in the chat room to people. I mean, if I try to bring up something, it's not me bringing it up to everybody. It's just, hey, we have people bringing it up to us, and I'm the only one who does it. I'm the only one who says something, but yet I'm everybody. Yet I'm nobody. Maybe I should be happy that I'm somebody, right? I'm a person who will never give a chance to or to help become successful in life. That email in a way, like I'm like that email in a way that always ends up getting placed into the spam folder, so to speak. Or I just give them the ick and it gets deleted. Yeah, it's like I try to reach out for help. Nobody wants to help me. Especially when I need it the most. I have like I'm balancing so much on me. I'm trying to offload that, and nobody wants to help me with that. And a lot of this really, 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 because of all that, because of how I get treated and feeling, a lot of times it really does maybe makes me feel like I really wish I never survived that cancer. I wish I would have gave that winning fight to somebody else that wouldn't be treated the same way that I've been treated in this last 45 years. Today I'm nowhere where I want to be. I can't afford to make my dreams can't afford to make my dreams happen. I barely keep myself afloat at the moment. I should have been that CISO for that ISP that I spent years at, that I worked so hard on. More opportunities with the casino, not to be career dumped and discarded because I did my job and I did it too good. I did things there and they didn't care. That is pretty much the end. But other than that, it's like the final words is don't give up. No matter how hard it is, just don't give up. There is things like that, where it's going to be tough. It's always going to be tough. But don't give up. Things do come. Maybe I will get my CISO, but maybe it won't be with that company. Maybe I'll actually get my own business running. I'll take it off the ground. Maybe I can do my CISO as a service. Maybe that can happen. I mean, I am still trying to reach out for stuff like that. It's been discouraging, but that's it. I'm trying to I can get more content down. It's going to be either once a month or maybe every bi-weekly for this. I'm going to try to keep this going because this is my cybersecurity style podcast, but it's going to be different. And this one is basically stating my past and where I came from and what I've been told. And I've came one hell of a long way. And it's like, and I've seen so many things, so many different ways. People have basically back in my day when we actually build things for cybersecurity, or hacking and stuff like that, we actually took pride of taking, doing things from scratch, doing things from the fly, learning and being creative. You have the creativity and the fun and the driven to, the show off to other people. Nowadays, it's like you're you're not cool unless you have these pre-made cool tools like Kali Linux is a script kiddie tool. No matter what you look at it, that's a script kiddie straight out of the box tool. And script kiddies, that's all they are. They just take a tool and they just use it and not even understand how it really works or how they really built it or what kind of stuff to really learn from. It's like you really don't, you just learn basically the tools around it and you don't really learn the operating system. And I think that's why I like Slackware so much, is because you actually have to learn the operating system. And if you want tools like what's on Kali Linux, you have to learn how to get them, modify them. If you want to build things, you can build them from scratch on your own and learn from there. You're not going to learn how to do things without digging into them. You take all the classes you want, but if you don't actually start building your own little like environment of your own to play around with, to learn and really dig deep on how things really work, just it's just it's just a tool for a job, and pretty much I don't know. It's almost about as bad as like every smoke shop that I've seen in Las Vegas has been also a computer repair place where they just go in and just run a tool, remove viruses, and format and reinstall Windows. That's all you do. And they just have one tool to do that they just buy or pirated or something. And they don't learn how to make their own automated stuff. They don't know how to really do their stuff. They just think they're super tech, and because they use tools. I'm not really sure how that really came about. Yeah, it's like, and then it's just like, I don't know. I think this last DEF CON has just really got to me on how people are just picking up. Everyone just wants Flipper 0 because it's an automated tool right out of the box, does everything for you, and you really understand how that tool works. I mean, if you technically you can make your own Flipper 0 because the blueprints for all that it was online, and I think it still is online, and you can definitely find stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, I'm missing the point of when did people lose their creativity? The fun. That's where the fun was. And it's just, I don't know. We're gonna go. I want to really dig more deep in back, and think that old stuff. Learn and try to show how creativity really matters, and think outside the box, kind of thing. Really miss those times. I mean, you can probably take a CTF and you can probably try to do the way people say this is how you can do it. But if you don't mess around to find out there might actually be another way of doing things, you may never know until you find out, right? I'm pretty sure there's people out there who think that way, but that's it. I think this is it. This is my life schedule for streaming. It's actually I need to change it to 8 p.m. now. I stream on Twitch every night. Twitch.tv/Wandering Raven, or you can just go to my website. I have the direct link there too. Technically, my link tree. And the more people I get, the more people who show up and hang out, the more I'm actually going to be more motivated to do more things. Like I want to go back to doing CDFs back on screen. If I get more people that way, we'll definitely get in there. That's the end of episode 1. I hope to get some information or some feedback on this. If so, leave it leave it down. I'm pretty creative. Give me some creative feedback. I don't care. Whatever I can make better. Anyways, peace.